Hey guys, it's Johnny,
And Jesse.
and here we have a tutorial on how to play Two Worlds Epic Edition multiplayer. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is download and install the game from Steam. This is the method we're using. Um, the first time you click network, you're going to have to enter in your Steam, the key Steam gave you. You would type all of that in and then type in the information it asks for. It's old school registration and it uses an electronic postcard style method instead of like a real postcard. This is way back in the day when you could actually take a postcard out of the case and mail it in. That's why it asks for so much information. Um, so you'll have to enter in a name, an address, your gender, an email address, and um, there was one other thing. I think it might have been a phone number, but I'm not entirely sure.
hmm
Very similar to how postcard style registration works. So if you don't want to do that, you can't get online. After you do that, you're going to want to double click one of these servers. Now, for me, America doesn't work for some reason. Um, I believe it's already down permanently. So we were using Warnet Europe, just like that. You double click Warnet Europe. You would create one of the two characters. Um, we created an RPG character so we could play co-op. However, there is a PvP element that you can do, and I'm just not into PvP in any game. So, once you double click a character, it will put you into a menu to select a room. We use Tarbakeen number 1, which none of these are any different from the other. They're all the same except they're just different rooms for 50 other players to join in. I'm going to join Tarbakeen number 2. You would have your friend also do everything you just did and join Tarbageen number 2 so that you guys can join a game together. Once you get into Tarbakeen number 2, it will put you in the town of Tarbakeen, which is a major story point in the main game. The multiplayer in Two Worlds doesn't tie to the story mode. Um, So it just puts you in a region of your choosing, which I will show you in a second, and you do the quests of that area, and then you move on to the next area. So now we just have to wait on Jesse to connect to Tarbakeen 2, and we will get on with it. Okay, here we both are. We're in Tarbakeen number 2, and now I get to show you how to create a game. So by default, the game lobby making button, for lack of wording, is F12. Um, there are missions up here, which are what I was referencing a little bit ago. We did Comorin in our series, in the first part of our series, so I'm going to start Comorin for old time's sake, and you would type in a password. I don't know what this option does, personally. I think it's there to stop players that were not on the original mission or players that are less than you in level. I'm not entirely sure. When I find out, I'll let you guys know. Over here, you have games that are active in Tarbakeen number 2 room. Um, I don't know what this is for, but since it's just me and Jesse, there's nobody. Double click Comorin or single click it, type in a password, and then click create at the bottom. A screen will pop up on the bottom right, and it will say the players, their guild, and their ping. Now, with online games, lower ping is better. So we're going to wait for Jesse to join. For someone to join, you would double click the mission that pops up in the games menu there. And if there's a password, it'll present you with another dialogue, and it'll say put in the password to join, or it just won't let you in. Pretty simple. Once you get everybody that you want in the lobby, you would press F12 to start. So we're going to do that. It'll count down, and then you'll be in the mission.
Forget loading screens.
Yeah, there's a couple of loading screens in between. For me, there's only one. And there you are. Now, for multiplayer, I'm going to do a brief explanation on how this multiplayer works, especially with co-op. So you'll open your inventory, since there's no dedicated map button in this version. You would go over to the map. This is the entire region of Comoran, which is the first area in the main story. The quests that are in multiplayer do not coincide at all with the story mission, at least that I know of. Quests are green, players are pink, and objectives that are fetch are blue. Kill objectives are red. There's a couple of other little things. The first time you join, you cannot kill Groms. Don't do it. They will fuck your shit up. You will know that if you actually watch the first episode of our series together.
Oh, and you can be male or female.
Oh yes, in this you can create your character to be male or female. However, the dialogue is just as bad for either. So, good old Two Worlds. So, these icons here are teleports, and you can teleport to any of them at the beginning of the game. So if we walked over here, even though it's not discovered up here, like it's not revealed like down here, we could still teleport up here. So that saves you a lot of time. You don't have to wander around and get killed by a bunch of bullshit you didn't want to fight in the first place. The first thing you will be able to fight is wolves, and I highly recommend you team up, because if it's just you, you're going to be fighting for a while. However, there is one advantage. They do not regenerate health when you lose the instance. So you can just die, go back to where they were at, and finish working at them. Animals do respawn, and spirit animals also spawn, and they are a bitch to fight, because you
need spirit gems.
Yeah, you need to put spirit on your spirit damage on your weapon in order to kill them. I actually have some spirit damage, so I could fight ghosts if I want. However, they would absolutely destroy me because I am such a low level. The rest of the game, it works just like it does in single player. When you get to the edges of the map, there is a big-ass hedge that won't let you pass, and it will say, turn back now, you cannot go this way. Once you complete enough quests, it will say on the screen you have unlocked enough of the quests, or you have completed enough of the quests to unlock the next region. We're going to do that soon, so stay tuned for that. When you die, you respawn at a Malale shrine, and those shrines do not regenerate your magic. Jesse knows, she's a mage.
There's different shrines that do that.
Yeah, there's different shrines to do that. I can't actually remember. I have not played this game hardcore in a long time.
I do it all the time, so.
I have this fucking fly bugging the shit out of me. Anyways, I teleported to a random location. Okay, I did not teleport to a random location. I selected one, but I didn't pay attention. See, you don't have to have it discovered to teleport to it right away. So that aids you greatly. Herbs do not respawn, and loot is shared. So, to get more herbs, you will have to leave the room. I don't know why the hell you would do that. Or leave the instance, which I don't know why you would do that. Because it's pointless, and I'll explain in a minute. And everything else respawns. When you do that, if you were to go herb mining or herb hoarding or whatever the term is.
We're just going to call it that now.
Yeah, we're just going to call it herb hoarding. If you quit and came back in to hoard herbs for potions or whatever to sell, I don't really care, your instance will be reset. All of the quests...
Ah, wolves. Fuck. Don't mind me.
Yeah, there's wolves out where she's at. All of the quests will be set back to not completed. If you did not complete enough quests to move on to the next area, then you're kind of boned. You'll have to do all of them over again. It would be great for grinding levels, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, we played it twice and ended up making new characters first time over because we didn't know what the fuck happened. So, yeah. There's not much else to say after that. If you're going to be a barbarian like I am, I highly recommend you put your first 5 points in dexterity so you can actually hit something, because dexterity starts out at like 3, I think, or 2, and your strength is way up on fucking 10. You have 0 magic, which I haven't boosted, and I think 5 vitality. So yeah, definitely put some on dexterity so you can hit and can dodge, because your attack chance is like 25% and your dodge chance is the same. Um, there is a trade system. It's effective. Um, when you trade, you would open the trade dialogue with another person. You just walk up and press the action button.
Mine is Q.
Mine is E. So walk up to the player, press E, select yes. She could do it also, which would pop up a notification on my screen. You would drag the item that you're going to trade over to the trade menu up at the top. She did the same thing. Thank you for doing that, by the way. I needed to explain something, and you just helped me with that. You would click the handshake icon down here. Once the deal has been made, you have to drag the item from the top screen into your inventory, or it will disappear. Just poof, gone. So make sure to do that, or you will lose some nice expensive gear that we tried to trade to each other.
Yep.
Ugh, that was such a bitch. Also, money is really hard to make in multiplayer because loot is shared. Alright, guys. That's the end of the tutorial. I hope it helped. I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye.